Hey, everybody. I teach for you to be. Hi, it's Mike Meyers, your favorite nerd in the entire world. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Mike Meyers Ask Mike Anything live stream. The goal of this live stream is to provide those of us who are isolated by the coronavirus an opportunity to continue our studies on CompTIA certifications. Here we concentrate on CompTIA A+, Net Plus, and Security Plus, but we're certainly more than comfortable and capable. Okay, look and sound fine. I forgot to ask the important question. I didn't put my microphone on properly. I will do it this way. Where in my speech was I? Oh yeah, we concentrate on the CompTIA A+, Net Plus, and Security Plus, but we're certainly comfortable with other CompTIA certifications as well as non-CompTIA IT certifications. So that's how this works, and that's why this exists. We start at 2 o'clock Central Daylight Time here in Houston, Texas, and we run till 3 o'clock Central Daylight Time or until the questions run out. So we sometimes can run a little bit shorter than that, but the reason we are here is to help you guys out. So feel free to ask those questions. Now you ask those questions by typing them into the chat window. Now as you take a look at that chat window here on YouTube, one of the things you might want to keep in mind is up at the top, if it says top chat, you might want to change that to a live chat. It just adjusts so it's more like accurate to the time as opposed to YouTube's algorithm that, if you might say something it doesn't like or something like that. So anyway, feel free to consider that. All right, so I guess I'm sounding okay now. All right. Okay. Try not to step on this. See what we can pull off. I'm in a weird mood today. I got to warn you guys. Of course, please ask questions, all right? But I'm feeling very philosophical today. Part of the philosophy comes from the fact that 2.5 hours ago, I was full of Novocaine at the dentist because I had once again forgot to go get my teeth cleaned, and then I get to do the ugly cleaning. I don't know about you guys who've ever had a deep cleaning at the dentist, but they've got this thing called a Cavitron, I think it's called, and basically it goes, it's ultrasonic, and it's full of pain. So it's like this little reminder that you ought to just get your teeth cleaned once every 6 months. How's this for old guys giving advice? Yeah, I'm feeling philosophical. So I was actually thinking about life advice, and I got on YouTube, and the first thing it points me to is some Matthew McConaughey, the 5 things about life that are important. And number 1 was, life is unfair or life is hard. I'm like, duh, I knew that one. So I'm sure the rest of it was fine. It didn't speak to me. So one of the things I'm going to recommend is that there's a video from like 1999 called Use Sunscreen, which is much better. And in fact, one of the things it recommends in there is floss. And boy, do I, got to do it. Yeah, I am philosophical today, definitely. Got a whole big thing about weight loss. For those of you who are keeping track, I'm down 33 pounds as of this morning. Oh well. All right, so let's take a look what's going on here. Scrolling up. All right, so when you see me look to the side here, guys, I'm looking for questions. And yes, we'll be giving away free practice questions today, and we will also be giving away a free CompTIA voucher today. Joshua Sherman, Mike, I just passed Net Plus with a 784. It's a great score. All right, well done. Joshua, congratulations to you. I also had some news. I think this was coming in through... I don't want to say the person's name because I don't think this is the name they use online, but we're getting vouchers. Dave, we've been having some trouble getting people vouchers on a timely basis. It seems that Dave Rush's hard work is paying off, and we're getting things where they need to be going. So that's all good. So a couple of things that did pop up, Dave is kind enough to remind me. First of all, we had told you guys that the new exam is going to be released April 20th next month. Thanks, CompTIA. But the retirement date for the old exam, which we've been telling everybody is August 31st of this year. CompTIA has pushed it back. Let me make sure I'm not saying this wrong. Dave is not telling me how much it's pushed back, but the existing CompTIA exams are going to last past August 31st. This is a big deal if you're studying, because I always tell people never take the new exam, ever. And you don't want to take the new exam because the only thing CompTIA provides everybody are the objectives. All I get to write a new A+ book are the same objectives you get. I get them a lot earlier, but that's all I get are the objectives. So when a new test comes out, me and my competitors, Professor Messer and all the other folks out there, we don't really know what's on the exam. So you're taking a gamble, in my opinion, anytime you take the new exam on anything. Folks, this doesn't even have to be a CompTIA exam. This is any IT exam, all right? Always take the old exam. In my experience, I've never met an interviewer who has said, which exam did you take? Or really cared. Now, I've said that before on here, and other people are like, well, Mike, in my experience, you know what? I've still never heard it, and I'm going to have to override other people's occasional experience with the far more common thing that nobody cares what exam you take. They don't care. They care when you took it. That's usually what the only thing people care about. When did you take the A+? The new retirement date is October 20th, so that's still good. Old vouchers are coming in and we didn't do anything. I don't know what that means, but I guess we're having good luck with the vouchers. Yeah, the other thing, if I'm looking over here, is that I got Dave Rush and Andrew Hutz are always on the back channel, always helping out, very much appreciated. And they feed me good information like that, which is very convenient. It makes me sound like I know a lot of things. And generally, when you see me turn that direction, it's because I don't know what I'm talking about. And Dave Rush or Andrew are helping me out. All right, so let's see who's on and cooking today. Tolowitz here, Wilshaw's here, good. YL's here, Omar's here. Good to see you, Omar. Omar got his first job. Can you give me any tips for my first day? Yeah, number 1, show up on time. Number 2, don't be weird. And number 3, the only thing you should be doing is asking questions on your first day. And if you have a choice between listening or asking a question, always choose listening. That's it. You'll be fine. Maintain eye contact when you're talking to people. So I was actually talking to one of these super high-end boot camps, and they have this particular boot camp has a really high pass rate. And I'm just asking these guys, I was curious how they had such a high pass rate and placement rate, because their placement rate was close to 90%, which is unreally high. And their answer is they take a lot of time. This is funny. This is a couple levels above us, but they have to take all this time making sure people know how to interview and things like that. And I was like, man, I always thought teaching interview steps and all that was more of an A+ thing, you know, where somebody's breaking into the industry. And clearly we got to do it more than that. Craziness. Isn't that crazy? Us nerds are so bad at interviewing that even at higher levels we have to be coached. Yeah, so the other stinky part about Novocaine is when it starts wearing off. So I feel like I just got punched in the jaw. Actually, it feels a lot like being punched in the jaw, which is something I haven't had done to me in 20 years, and looking forward to that being the rest of my life. All right, so let's take a look. What do we got going here? Andres, good to see you, man. Sorry you're having a headache. Glad you're here. Mohammed, yep. TD Washington. I love spring and I hate spring. Birds, flowers, sunshine, sneezing, itchy eyes, red and rosy. I know. TD Washington, you should live in Houston. It's the home of the allergies. Brennan, am I pronouncing that right? Okay. Roy, hello, Mr. Mike. Is there any new additions for your books for the new exam? Roy, what new exam are you talking about? Roy, if you're talking about the A+, our new books, look, CompTIA usually gives us a lot more time. Here it is March, and they're announcing that the new test is coming out in April. The reason they're doing that is because CompTIA has their own training materials, and I can't prove any of this, so this is my own opinion, and take it only as that, by doing it this way, they get their books out faster. Doesn't make their books better, doesn't make their books still cost twice what my books do. But for so many people, they always think they have to take the new test. And CompTIA is cashing in on that ignorance. So my books aren't going to be out for probably 4 or 5 more months. There's a good chance my videos will be out before the books this time. Rainbow Jesse 1246. Hello, Mike. This is Jennifer, and my question for today is, what are keyloggers? Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and start with that at 206. So Jennifer, a keylogger is something that logs your keys. Now, I know it sounds like a smart aleck, but keyloggers can manifest as software that's running on the operating system that's literally keeping track of every key you press. It can manifest as a device. In fact, the more nefarious ones are the ones that they look like thumb drives, and you just plug them in, and they'll keep track of everything that's pressed on the keyboard. They can even be more nefarious than that, in that you can get a device that looks like a USB extender cable, and you plug that in, and then you plug your keyboard into this little cable, and built into that same little thing that just looks like a dongle, it's even got wireless built into it and stuff, so it can transmit literally every button you press, and the state of the shift and the control and the alt key and all this stuff is pushed into these things. Or they can be stupid. They don't even have to have wireless. They can be dumb. I can come back and unplug the thing and take it. So a keylogger is a piece of software that keeps track of everything you press on a keyboard. A keylogger can manifest as a piece of software, but that's fairly rare because those are relatively easy to detect. Good keyloggers are usually a piece of hardware that are plugged into the back of a particular system that you're targeting. David Mohan's here. Hey, David, good to see you, man. This guy right here. What is a good way to practice using Mac OS without buying Apple products? There isn't any way. Not really. I got to tell you, I got to think about that one for a minute. Get a Mac is one answer. Borrow a Mac is another answer. Go to the library and practice commands on a Mac is another answer. Using Linux for all the command line stuff, you'll be okay there. There are no emulators I'm aware of, nor am I aware of a virtual machine you can use on a... If you have a Windows or a Linux machine, I'm unaware of any legal way to virtualize a Mac system. So, yeah, I'm sure lots of people have other answers, but that's all I'm going to give you. Will Shaw, at Mike, what are your must-have line item in your config? Just stop. Will is a funny guy. Ronan reads, hello. Yeah, no, I'm not ranting. I'm not going to rant. No ranting. Jared Graham, hi Mike. Collision domains, not sure if I'm asking this correctly. A bit confused on how to calculate them. How would I calculate it if I asked how many there are in a diagram? Okay, you're not trying to calculate a collision domain, you're just trying to count them, okay? So the term collision domain is a little bit dated. Normally the term we're going to use is broadcast domain. The difference between them is pretty much they're exactly the same. Collision domain came up back in the old days when we used hubs instead of switches. And if remember, switches are smart, right? And they send data point to point. But back with the old school hubs, you could only have like 5 collision domains separated by 4 switches or something. It doesn't even matter anymore. I don't want to talk about that. So let's not use the word collision domains. Let's use broadcast domains. A broadcast domain just means if one computer broadcasts, what are all the computers that are going to hear it? So a broadcast domain is going to consist of all of the computers and the switches too that you can ping to. Nope, sorry, that's a lie. Let me see if I can do that better. Well, it would be ones you could ARP to, although ARPing isn't the easiest thing in the world to show. The moment you have a router involved, that's the end of a broadcast domain, okay? So let's think about your house. In your house, maybe you have you've got an incoming router from your ISP, and in the back of that router, you probably got wireless. You probably got 4 or 5 RJ plugs in there, and maybe you got a few things plugged into the RJ. Or you could be like me, where I've got one of those, and then I've got some stuff plugged into that. Then I have another router, and then that router does NAT, and it goes out and it does wireless and all that stuff. But the only ones that can hear each other is inside that first router, all right? And then between my 2 routers. So I would count 2 broadcast domains there. It's easy to count broadcast domains. Routers separate broadcast domains. So even if you don't know any of this, if you see a router on one side is one broadcast domain and the other side's another broadcast domain, and if you have a router with 3 connections, you are connecting to 3 broadcast domains, okay? So if I was going to be looking at a diagram and I'm trying to count broadcast domains, the first thing I would do is look for the routers and treat those as lines and see if I can draw circles around that stuff. Dave Rush says, Will is serious. He's building a 486 with DOS. Oh, God. Will, you're on your own, man. I have literally forgotten everything to put in to the old config.sys files. Your first line needs to be device equals hymem.sys. I'm not going to get into that. Patrick Sutton, hello everyone from ENCOBX. Patrick, are those airport names? I don't know what ENCOBX is. They'll tell me. Teddy Zoe, hello, hey Teddy. Caden Coolidge, I was thinking about he's got a voucher. He was thinking about Security Plus, but now he's thinking about taking Cloud Plus. Would it be unethical if I decided on a different No, we don't care. The only thing that would be unethical to me is that if you won a voucher and didn't use it, that would make me actually angry and I would call you out on that. But no, I don't care what you use it. Use it whatever you want. Looking for questions. Mr. G, hey Mike, any recommendations for a Linux Plus book? No, I have no recommendations. Choco Taco, good to see you, man. Anthony Trong, good Irish name there. Hello, Mike. Hello, Anthony. Trey Dilla, hey Trey. Zachary Nettle, these are all new names, right? Mike, when will Windows 11 be on the exam? When will Windows 11 be on the exam? I'm not sure what I can say about the new A+. I don't. CompTIA really freaks out until once the exam's really out. I got to be really careful about what I say there. Dave Rush, give me some guidance here. What do you think? Can we tell them what versions of Windows are on the upcoming A+? All right, so that was the first one. How long would you study for before taking the test? So Zachary, at the front of every one of my books is a table that gives you an idea of how much time it takes to study. I can only say it in hours because I don't know how many hours you'll study, right? So for A+, it's about 220 hours, ballparkish. Would you take it online or in person? I've never actually done any of these online tests. It seems that CompTIA's got it down pretty good. But I've never gone to testing centers either. Well, I mean, I do go into a testing center. But I don't know. Take it at home. It's really a matter of being comfortable. The number one reason that people fail CompTIA exams is test anxiety. And whatever it takes to have you less anxious, do it. I do need to warn you that if you're going to do these the online test, they make you jump through some pretty serious hoops. And so if you want to take that and the room you're going to take it in doesn't look good to the proctor, they're going to stop you. So keep that in mind. Would you take it on? David Mohan, I may compete in 2023. Then when I win again, you can ban me for another year. Oh, David, I didn't ban you. You banned yourself. David Mohan created a verb, people, just so you know. This guy who's typing along in here, this young guy from UK. And David made the mistake, I don't know if it was a mistake, but David won too much. What David Mohan did wrong is he broke the bank at Total Seminars. So there's no banning, but David literally invented the term to be Mohanned. To be Mohanned, because since David's done this, we have Mohanned a number of people. You just won too much. Guys, we're giving away $400 vouchers today. And I kind of want, I want newer people to get them, that's all. Chris Dougherty, good to see you. Brian Cannon, Mike, I just finished reading chapter 13.2 of Security Plus on 601. I just have 13.3 and then I'm done with the book. How can I create a lab for myself to practice the skills I have learned? Woo! So what you're really saying, Brian, is you want us to do like 500 labs. Brian, there is no single answer to this. By chapter 13, you should have already... I hate labs because if I start... I've never liked labs because the moment I start giving labs, that's basically at this level, I feel that I'm just telling people how to do stuff. They don't even really think about it. Look. To get into IT and to get into IT security requires a lot of passion and a lot of self-motivation. I get nervous, and I'm not saying you're this person, I'm just saying I get nervous. When people are like, I need a table for all the ports, or I need a lab for everything. I would have felt a lot better, Brian, if you'd have said, Mike, I need a lab for DHCP, or I need a lab for DNS server configuration, or I need a lab for router setup. But you just said to me, I need a lab for everything. Dude, Brian, seriously? Go back to like chapter 1 and ask me again for a lab for chapter. You see where I'm coming? You generate your own labs through your own research. When you're getting into IDS, you start going online, you're looking for IDS tools, and there's tons of them out there, and you play with them. Or you take a look at the IDS tools that are built in even your home router, and you play with them. See where I'm coming from? It's just a matter of play. Sometimes you just poke it with a stick. There's a lot of stuff like DNSSEC, which is kind of hairy, and a lot of times just taking a look at a standard forward lookup table is more than enough to get you through the exam and through what gets your interest up. So, and again, Brian, I'm not picking on you, man. Lots of people ask me that question. It's not the way I work. So it's hard for me to answer. Ooh, lots of questions. I've got to get myself in the right spot here, folks. I'm sorry. I've got a lot of stuff coming in. Mr. S, hey, Mr. S. Mike Myers is the godfather. Woo, look at me. I'll give you an offer you can't refuse. Nifty Glowing Cheese. Hey, Brittany. Hey, Mike, is there a scripting language that you should be comfortable with before taking the A+? No, not really. You don't need any scripting languages. I know right now Dave Rush is like, what are you saying? You should be able to hello world in JavaScript. You should be able to hello world in PowerShell, and then maybe a bash script. But it's not important that you learn some scripting language just to pass A+. It's hard enough to learn a scripting language just to be a good tech, but to think, and that's why you're asking that question. I understand, because you're like, well, how much do you need? And Dave Rush, this might be completely different than how you answered, and that's okay. Dave's a good tech too. But the important thing is, why do these scripting languages exist? Where are situations you would need it? Like, for example, Johnny is trying to configure a basic web server and da-da-da-da-da. Should he use JavaScript, Bash, or PowerShell? Something like that. PowerShell doesn't belong in web pages. You should understand the basic where we use these things, okay? Eloy Jahuzam, I apologize for messing up. He wants to know, can I take the CompTIA exam in Haiti? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going CompTIA testing Haiti. Yes, I went to the CompTIA.org site, and I don't see one. Dave Rush, can you help me out and do a quick search and let me know if it's in Haiti or not? Okay. We'll get that answer for you, Lloyd. Be careful. Just give us a moment, please. Patrick Sutton, Eastern North Carolina. Ali Old Rabuni, how to calculate backup time for a PS2? Thanks in advance. This is a 218. Well, we're almost at 230 already. I got to do a competition. How do I calculate the backup time for a power supply unit? So power supply units don't need to be backed up, right? So I'm trying to figure out what you're saying. Ali, I'm going to take your answer to a different direction. Based on let's assume that I lose power, how much time do I need to back up the system? Well, that's going to depend on your standby power supply, SPS, UPS, uninterruptible power supply. Same thing as far as I'm concerned. They all have. You're not going to be tested on this by the A+ or Net Plus or Security Plus. What you do need to be aware of is that you can get power supply units that have more power in them. Usually, physically, they have batteries in them. They have automobile or motorcycle batteries, and how long that'll last. And I'm telling you, A+ questions are that easy in that direction. No one's going to ask you to do any calculations. It's a matter of appreciating that that's an important thing. All right, Eloy, we're going to get that answer. I see you've typed in your, how do I take the CompTIA exam in Haiti a bunch of times. We'll get you covered. Dave Rush has got you there. Not in Haiti. Okay, Dave Rush, can you please do me one more favor? Can Eloy take the exam in the Dominican Republic? Give Dave a minute. We'll figure that one out. Yeah, well, Shaw, I figured you were making a joke with all the little smiley faces, but yeah, I'm way past that. Kamal Gurbanov. Kamal, you were on before, weren't you? What is the difference between a proxy server and a firewall? Big, big difference. They're not even in the same area. The problem we run into when we start talking about VPNs and firewalls and proxy servers and all that stuff is that so many of these features are built into Soho routers that we see all of these things that are built into a router. So we tend to confuse these features because I can get to any of these features within a typical router, or at least a typical higher end router. Come on, I've got, it's an old one. It's probably from about 1.5 years ago, but I've got a wonderful video here in the YouTube channel on proxy servers, because proxy servers is kind of a complicated, interesting, but complicated topic. Kamal, you absolutely have to watch that before I'll answer that one for you. Secondarily, a firewall is just something that filters traffic coming in or out of your network. That's it. How it filters it, what type of filtering it does, all those things, that's a whole other level of topic. But a firewall is just something we use to filter out potentially naughty traffic from the internet. And a lot of times we stop stuff from your network getting out, although that's usually done more as a host firewall in an individual system, as opposed to a feature that's put into your router. Eloy, you can take A+ in the Dominican Republic. I know as an American, I'm like, well, it's right next door. How hard is it to get from Haiti to the DR? I know it's more complicated than that. I apologize for being innocent, but that is probably the option that's going to be most convenient for you, but I don't know. I don't know, and I apologize. I can't give you a better answer than that. Caden, I don't hate Linux Plus. What I hate about Linux Plus is nobody's written any good book on it that I've seen. No, I'm actually kind of pro Linux Plus. I think it's important to be able to have some pretty good basic skills in Linux. I like it, but it's not hatred. It's I can't find a good Linux Plus book. We'll leave it at that. Does that mean there aren't any? Absolutely, that does not what it means. It's just that I'm picky. Richard James, hi, what do you think about the idea of AI taking over IT jobs? I wish it would, because every time we talk about paperless office, self-configuring devices, pre-configuring network, cloud-based this, we end up with more work, not less. Every time we start hearing, and I'm not saying you're doom and gloom, but it's often part of a doom and gloom conversation. AI is going to take over our jobs and take our women. And no, it's not going to. Every time AI or automation or efficiencies come into play, IT just gets that much more complicated because somebody's got to watch the AI. Somebody has to design the AI. Somebody has to get creative with what the AI can. It just keeps going. Bring on more stuff that's going to theoretically make techs redundant because it just gives us more work. The trick is, look, if you want to be a tech and the only thing you're good at is working on dot matrix printers, over time you're going to lose your job. It's going to go away. But go from dot matrix printers to becoming an AI genius, and then all of a sudden you got work. I never fear technology. I invite it because the more technology I get, the more jobs we have. Rainbow Jesse 1246. Can malware run with administrative privileges on a workstation computer? Yes. Why? Yeah, okay. If so, what could happen? Oh, Rainbow Jesse 1246. The problem is when malware runs at advanced permission, we don't know. What kind of malware are you talking about? What do you want? If you have admin rights on a Windows machine, you can do anything you want. If you have a piece of malware that's running with admin rights on a Windows machine, it can do anything it wants. It could erase your hard drive. But see, they don't want to do that. the person who wrote malware, they want money. They want money. So what they'll do is every time you boot up, it's going to go, please enter this number. You know, your machine has serious malware. Because in fact, you probably installed it yourself because you had to go to that questionable website. You know, you wanted to go see that Tor site, that .onion site, and you're like, oh, look at these illegal things they're selling. Now, of course, you're not going to buy anything because you don't want to break the law, but it's interesting. I understand. It's interesting. But while you were in there, you managed to contract something you didn't want to get, and you downloaded just this little thing that looked to you like to be nothing. It was a Trojan horse. You've installed your own malware. Good on you. And now what's it going to do? I don't know. I don't know. What malware is it? It can do anything. Anything at once. Okay, so it's 2:30. It's all well after 2:30, and I've got stuff I got to give away and announcements I need to make. So let's go ahead and get that knocked out first and foremost. First of all, just because you're nice enough to show up today, we're offering 50% discounts on our bundled ebook plus practice questions. Now here at Total Seminars, we call our practice questions the Total Tester. It's just our practice questions. Don't make it complicated. So we will get you, let's say you like A+. We will give you a 50% discount on a combined A+ ebook and A+ practice questions. You like Net Plus? Same deals. Security Plus? I think we got the same deal. In order to take advantage of this, all you got to do is go to our website, TotalSem, that's TOTALSEM, TotalSem.com, head over to the merchant area, go pick an ebook, like the A+ ebook, and then pick the A+ practice questions, or we have lots of products in there. So once you put those two things in your cart, all you got to do at checkout is type in the phrase Moondog, that's one word, MOONDOG, and it will automatically cut the price in half. Look, folks, we're already the cheapest people out there. I've got lots of competitors out there who sell their products much higher than me. I'm going to boast and say it. I am unaware of any of my competitors out there that I respect who sell cheaper than me. I don't know of any of them. Of course, they listen to this channel, so they may end up changing their prices, but as of today, so this is an amazingly good deal, and I strongly recommend you take advantage of it. Oh, next thing. The other thing to talk about is that do keep in mind that there is a Discord channel. It's not my Discord channel. So if you get on this Discord channel and somebody says something that you don't like, I would not consider this channel a safe space. But it is a learning space, and it is an interesting space. And as long as I wouldn't even say thick-skinned, you know, just like a normal person, who can dish it out and take it. As much as I say this, 99.99% of everybody in there is just sweet as pie. It's really Andre's the problem. I'm kidding, Andre. But it's a Discord channel, and it's a great Discord channel. It's growing and growing a lot faster than I ever would have thought. I recommend you join the Mike Meyers, the unofficial Mike Meyers Discord channel. Dave Rush will put a link if he hasn't already. It looks like he did that at 2 o'clock. At 2:32, Dave Rush put a link to the Discord channel in there. Please check it out, especially if you have longer questions that I can't answer easily. This is a great place to go. I do answer some questions in there, but what I've discovered is we have so many great techs and experienced instructors in our Discord channel that I don't even get a chance to answer because there's lots of people answering the question well, and therefore I don't have to answer it myself. But please check out our Discord channel. And let's go ahead and start giving something away. What do you say, guys? All right. All right, let's get ready for our first giveaway. Now, guys, a couple of rules on these giveaways. Rule number one, these giveaways are not fair. I try to make them fair. I want them to be as fair as possible, but you know what? Here you go. I'm going to do a Matthew McConaughey. Sometimes life ain't fair. So we'll go take off our shirts. Okay, that's the best Matthew McConaughey I can do. Anyway, that's rule number one. What's going to happen here is I'm going to put a multiple choice question up on the screen, and the first person to answer it to my satisfaction wins. it's a multiple choice question. That means do not type A or B or C or D. I don't even bother reading it. You have to type out enough of the answer that I know what you're talking about, okay? Also, keep in mind, just because you think you're first, that isn't how it shows up on my screen. Everybody has a different order. So don't get all bent out of shape if by some reason I pick somebody else. Also keep in mind is we have less than 100 people in here, and out of the less than 100 people who are in here, 40% of them have already won, so they're kind of disqualified already. New people, these are the best odds you've got. Look, if you're going to play lotteries and stuff, this is great. And here's the other thing. We do this 3 times a week. So if you don't win, come back. It's not to make a deal. I actually have people who are like, oh, we don't even log in until the last 10 minutes. That's why I change this up sometimes, because people, they're not really interested in listening to me. They want a free voucher, which I don't blame them because they're a good deal. This first competition we're about to do, folks, is not for the voucher. This is for free practice questions of your choice from the Total Seminars catalog. To keep in mind, we have lots and lots and lots of practice questions, all kinds of stuff, not just A+, Net+, Security+, you name it. We probably have it certainly for within the realm of CompTIA, as well as other ones. So, did I mention that I just had work done on my teeth? And it's like, I'm going to talk like this now, so I don't have to move my painful jaws. Floss. Floss. Floss every day. Floss twice a day. Especially if you have crappy teeth like me. Oh my God. I wish 60-year-old Mike could talk to 25-year-old Mike and go, look, dude, you really don't want to skip days on flossing. I'd be like, yeah, but I want to party, man. That's what I had hair back then, okay? I'll shut up. Let's get the first competition. Hey, nobody's telling me shut up and move on. That's good. All right, kids, here we go. First competition. Are we ready? This is for free practice questions. All right, here we go. For centralized, this is a Security Plus question. For central authentication services, that's a clue. Centralized authentication services, you want to use an encrypted authentication service to securely authenticate remote access users who connect to your office through a VPN. That's a long way to say you've got one VPN endpoint. Which of the following authentication services should you use? Now, before I say anything, none of these are very good, okay? But we have to work within what we have. So I'm going to give you guys a moment. Please choose one of those 4. If you type A, B, C, or D, you are ignored. Wilson, good luck on your A+ Core 2. We are there for you. All right, we have a number of people who are competing here. Let me take a look. I don't know what the answer is. Which the foundation says local username and password. That's not a service. LDAP. Lightweight, is that it? PAP. Oh my goodness. I could use PAP, but that would definitely not work on for a single VPN. I guess it's going to be secure LDAP. All right, so guys, this is actually, just so you know, this is the Total Tester product. Check your answer. D is correct. Answer explanation. LDAP. You can configure an LDAP server to use TLS or SSL. Yeah, I guess you could. That's a little bit soft, but this is a good answer, and I stand by LDAPs. All right. All right, so so now, who do I pick as a winner? Dave, Andrew, help. I'm scrolling through. Guys, this just takes a moment. You got to bear with us. All right, Dave, okay, fine. Okay, great. All right, so it looks to me that the winner is Alex, A-L-E-X, just Alex. Alex, congratulations. Big round of applause to you. You have won, and this is 90-day access. So, Alex, in order to claim your prize, you have to jump through a couple of small hoops. All right, Alex, you ready? This is for you, Mom Frere. Whoops, that's not right. Let's try it again. There we go. Alex, you need to send an email to daver@totalsem.com. Yes, that's Dave Rush right here on right now. Alex, put your YouTube name, which is pretty easy since it's just Alex. Number 2, in your email, put your email address. Put the email address in the body of the email. And then number 3, Alex, let us know which exam you want. Congratulations to you. And just head over to totalsem.com. Check out all the different products we have. Pick the practice questions you want. Send an email to Dave with the word Alex in there in your email, and he'll have it back to you. So congratulations to you, Alex. Okay. Joshua Sherman, new person here. I won a voucher about a month ago on my 3rd viewing of a live stream. You guys got this. Oh, okay. Alejandro Ferrer, I apologize. It takes a few weeks for these vouchers to get to you, so it's tough. Yeah, Wilson, he booked his exam with the voucher you won here. Congratulations, well done. All right. Jared Graham, none of them really which would use. I showed you. All right, let's go ahead. Looks like questions are running there. Sorry, guys, I'm looking at something. Oh, Choco Taco, I thought you won because you typed LDAP, not LDAP Secure. And I was typing to the guys because we all see different stuff, right? So I'm typing to the guys on our back channel like, who won? And they're all like, Alex. Hello, Alex. And I was like, I thought Choco Taco won, but no, you didn't put the Secure. Yep. All right, but now we have a voucher to give away, huh, kids? All right, let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll wrap up. I need to get a question. We're going to stick with Security Plus because I like these questions. This is a tough question, and it's another Security Plus. I'm not sure what the answer is. All right, let's go for it. You guys ready? All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to give away a CompTIA voucher. Number 1, it takes a number of weeks, up to like 6 weeks to get these vouchers. So if you're in a hurry, don't compete. Secondly, these vouchers work for any CompTIA certification. It's not just for A+ or Net+. Well, I mean, you only get one voucher, so you have to apply it to one of those, but that application is your choice. Also, they are international. If you live in a country where, let me rephrase that after the Haiti question, if you can, how do I say this politically correctly? If you can get to a country that tests for CompTIA, you can win this voucher, okay? So, Eloy, even you can win this voucher, man. All right, so let's go ahead and deal with that. All right. Whew. So with all those caveats in mind, let's do the next one. You guys ready? This should bring up some debate, but I'm not going to debate here. You guys can debate on Discord. All right, what do we got here? So, after a crash of your web app, all right, so this is an online thing, the end user sees a detailed error message. It's going to be a log message. The end user, whoa. The end user sees a detailed error message, including a directory path to the configuration files. So there's, which of the following security techniques should you use? Okay, This is actually a lot easier than I thought. All right, guys, please type in an answer. Input validation, fuzzing, escaping, error and exception handling. Please enter your answer now. We are competing for the free CompTIA voucher, folks. I'm just giving everybody a moment to type things in. Oh, yeah. Dave Rush and/or Andrew, looks like we're already getting some folks coming in. So help me with some answers, whoever's the winner here. Oh, goodness. Okay, so let's go ahead and answer this. Input validation, now there's an argument for that one in terms of verifying the input's good. Fuzzing just means using weird input to do stuff. Escaping, I don't know what that means. I'm pretty sure this is error and exception handling because your web application crashed and the end user sees a detailed error message that includes a directory path, which basically means an error was missed and you're seeing some default OS stuff here. So I say it's error and exception handling. D is correct, thank goodness. Okay, whew. All right. So error and exception handling is the answer. Guys, help me out. Oh, the correct answer is error and exception handling. All right, so now we got to find that winner, folks, so bear with us. Oh, man. I got to tell you guys, I'm glad we're ending a couple minutes early because I literally don't want to move my jaws anymore. I should be a ventriloquist. Get me a cognac. All right. Okay, so who is our winner? The winner is going to be, I'm just going to trust the guys on this one because everybody says the winner is Brian. So Brian, and that's it, just Brian. Brian, only Brian, nothing else. Brian, congratulations to you. You have won a free CompTIA voucher. Now, Brian, in order to actually claim that prize, you got to jump through a couple of hoops, of course. So, Brian, what we're going to need you to do, mon frere, is to send an email. That's right, send an email to daver@totalsem.com. In this email, put your YouTube name, just like it shows in chat, which is Brian. Number 2, put your email address in the body of the email. Make sure it's in the body of the email itself. Make sure your name that's used from previous CompTIA certification. So whatever your official name is, if you haven't taken CompTIA certs before, then just use your legal name. Next, put your country of residence. If you're in the USA, add your state. Next, add the country where you will take the exam. So for folks like Eloy, that's a pretty good thing. It'll be good that Eloy puts that in when he wins a voucher because he can show his country of residence is Haiti and that he has to go to the DR to take the exam. And then last, put the exact SEM number. Don't put A plus 2201002, not just A plus. I am in great pain. Take it from an old man. Floss daily like a clock. So you will not be where I am. But of course, you guys won't listen because you're young and gorgeous and full of energy. And you're, whatever, I'll shut up. Andrew actually says it's fun when I rant. I'm a little nervous to agree with that, but that's all we're going to call it. All right, guys, look, that's all we got for this week. Do keep in mind that this Friday, Dave Rush will be on with his AMA. Dave Rush AMA, DRAMA, or drama, is right here on the same Total Seminars channel at 2 o'clock Central Daylight Time here in Houston, Texas, or Central Daylight Time wherever you are, because just make sure you're there and calculate as needed. What else do I need to do here? I think that's all about it. And don't keep in mind, Dave Rush also gives away vouchers. So if you didn't win today, just show up for Dave Rush's AMA this Friday. You have another shot at it. All right, folks, I am out the door here. Y'all have a wonderful day. I will see you guys next Monday. Until then, this is your little Uncle Mikey saying good night. Bye-bye, kids.